I'm good. I'm ready.
All right. Here we go. We're recording in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody, and thank you for joining us on It's All in the Delivery, episode 2. Here I am joined with my co-host and good friends, but we're -1 this episode for some reasons that are out of our control. But so first, let's go around the table. Let me introduce you guys to my co-host, Luke. Say hello.
Hello, everybody. Good evening.
Good evening. And also down there in the most southern part of the United States, down in deep South Florida, Brad, say hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. And Bobby.
Partial.
There he is. That's my little soundboard for the podcast here. So you may hear little tits and bits and tits and bits. Holy
Tits and bits.
I didn't even mean for that to come out. But I don't even know where I was going. What? Tips and little sound bits? I think that's what I wanted to say, but it was
Tits and bits was better.
tits and bits is good. I thought that was pretty good, right? I mean, I don't think it's, yeah, I mean, it's not as good as.
You mean they're not taking it ritually like they do to me?
See, right? That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyways, guys, yeah, I got the little soundboard now. I'm gonna start playing with it, and gonna add some more in there, and it's gonna be funny stuff that's just gonna come out of nowhere. But anyways, down one, Bobby. Like I was saying, out of reasons that are out of our control. The reason why he's not here tonight, and that's because with the hurricane, I still don't know how to pronounce it. Anybody know how to
Nobody
pronounce
does.
Nobody knows how to pronounce it.
You don't know it either. Shit.
Yeah. No, if Brad don't know it.
Spelled like Isaiah's. I don't know why they don't say Isaiah's.
Yeah, it's something. But when that came up here, I mean, it was bad for us in New York. I'm not sure how it was in West Virginia.
We had some hard rains and some bad thunderstorms, but that's it.
Okay. I know Brad barely got anything because I think it made landfall just north of you in South Carolina. But it definitely got Connecticut hard. They had a few tornadoes around Bobby's area, but Bobby, the family, the house, all that stuff's fine. He's just out of power for a little while right now. So that's why he's not able to join us. But hey, buddy, we miss you on this one and can't wait to have you back next week.
Absolutely. Glad all's all right.
Mm-hmm.
So with that said, fellas, how was your guys' past work week here?
Rough,
eh?
rough.
Me too.
I can agree with that.
Why was it rough though? What happened, Brad? You had a helper or something, no?
Yeah, that's unheard of. Crazy busy to the point where I had to have a helper. So yeah, I had this high stop count in the building that day, and it was fun.
What's high? What's a high stop count for you?
Like 260.
Oh my god!
Damn, that's a lot of stops,
dude. That's insane. Like 180's high for like our building or certain routes, anyways. But for me, that's like ridiculous. My average is usually around like 130.
Yeah, I'm not doing that route next week.
No.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I'm done.
That's a hard no.
Pass.
Yeah.
Go back out in the woods.
I mean, tonight I didn't get home till about 7:45, 8 o'clock. Last night I didn't get home till about 8 o'clock. So it's still been heavy with everything with what's going on in the world, and stores still not open. So people are still shopping online.
Woo.
And it's going to continue.
Oh yeah. Like this is definitely going to be the new normal, right?
I think it will be, but I mean, for me, this week was a rougher week. It had dropped off for us for a while, for about at least a month, where it hasn't been light, but it's been manageable, all things considered. But this week, I think Tuesday I worked till 8:45, and Wednesday I worked to about 8:30, and I hadn't had to file a 9-5 grievance in a long time. I was like, damn, I might have to. But yesterday was easy. My stop count was so low because I had a lot of pickups today, but I had 88 stops today. So
Dude, that's a good day.
Easy day. And I don't drive a lot of miles. I think I drove 60 miles.
Wow.
88 stops and 60 million. That's how many miles I do. But, I only had 190 today.
Yeah.
Only.
I mean, you had more.
I was off
times mine by 2, and you still got me.
I was off by 550.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. See, that's what I think about that one, right? That's good. Good spot. No, like for me, like my route's usually around 130, and I usually average about 100 miles a day. I'm usually just around 100 miles a day, and but today it was up at like 155, which is like that's high for my route. And like I got a lot of long driveways out there on my side of town. It's in the woods, a lot of long dirt road driveways, private roads, all this stuff. Oh, speaking of that, I got a good story to tell.
Nice.
And this just happened to me yesterday. So with the when the storm hit us, it was a tropical storm, not a hurricane. But so the tropical storm did heavy damage in this area. And I mean, we didn't get any tornadoes or anything like that, but the rain, the wind, like we get rain and we get wet, right?
Right.
When this storm came, bro, it was a whole nother level of wet. Like the next level up. I was soaked, drenched.
And that picture I saw
drenched.
Pretty you look pretty drenched.
Yeah, it was drenched. Like I'm pretty sure my uniform took in 100% water as much as it could to the point when all the rain that was hitting me was just bouncing off, I think it was just bouncing off. It just couldn't absorb anymore, like it was ridiculous. But anyway, so the storm hit us bad. Trees, power lines, everything knocked over, down. Still people out of power around this area. But anyways, so I had one for this private road that is probably about 3/4 of a mile long. And there's a tree that's down about 3/4 of the way up the driveway, right?
Oh,
and yeah, so I couldn't continue further, so I had to stop the truck, get out, walk it off. And as I'm walking up to the house, I see these power lines down, and they're down right as you make the left to get into this driveway where this house is that I have to go. So there's only 2 houses down this road. And they're both off to the left, okay? And the power lines were draped parallel with the road, where it was draped parallel with the road, but it was off to the side of the left-hand side, okay? And so I saw that, and the woman comes out. She's like, "Oh, watch the lines, this and that." And I'm just walking. I mean, they were low enough to where I can literally like walk into them,
Right.
And but she comes out of the house. Watch the lines. And I was like, "Oh yeah, no, I see them. I see them." Like it's this huge thing just draping across,
Is your route? Are you in a pretty rural area? Because I feel like I see you in a lot of long ass stops.
Very.
Okay.
Very rural.
I assumed so. I just wanted to confirm that.
Bears, coyotes, foxes, the whole nine. You know what I mean?
So you got to deal with way more shit than I do, animal wise,
probably. But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What was that, Brad?
You MILF hunter.
I mean, there's a lot of people out there, but
MILF hunter.
Oh, look at him! He tried to slide it off, and Brad just right hooked him.
Yeah. So but anyway, I gave her a package, walked back down, had a back first exception, obviously, and so the next day, yesterday, yeah, my supervisors love that. So then yesterday,
it's great to hear that today.
Yesterday, I decided because I got another package for her. So then I started going up the driveway, and I see that the tree's cleared out now, okay? And I'm going up, and I'm approaching her house, and I still see the wires down. But this woman comes out of the house screaming at me. And she's like, "What's the wires? We just found out they're live wires." This, that, and she's like yelling at me because she had a couple signs down at the bottom that says, "Warning, low wires." Okay, and then at the bottom it said, "Do not enter." Okay, but I have a delivery. I knew where their wires were because I was there the previous day. I knew my truck could get up there. You know what I mean? I knew my truck could get up there without hitting any of the wires. And this woman came out and she starts yelling at me. She starts cursing at me. And she starts freaking out, saying all this stuff like, "You're fucking live wires. Why the fuck did you come up here? That's why we got the sign down there. You put all of us in danger." This and that. This woman is flipping out on me.
Is she an older lady?
Middle age.
Was her name Karen?
That's a good one.
Was she wearing a mask?
No, she wasn't.
Of course not.
But I was.
Her name's
sorry.
Yeah.
She's one of those people to where on the rural routes, because I can attest to having some, that it just gets so programmed in their head that she probably didn't even know it was you from the day before, because she automatically sees big trucks and just is ready to pounce about those low wires.
Sure.
So you were just pretty much wrong place, wrong time.
Pretty much.
Time you got to go up there.
Pretty much.
Or anybody that's got to cover.
Yeah. So then, as I'm like driving, I'm like, yeah, I know. I see them. I was here yesterday. I know where they were. Like I knew I'd be fine. You put all of us in fucking danger driving this thing up here. That's why we got the goddamn signs down there. She's cursing at me. At that time, I'm like, all right, I've had enough of this. Like, you need to stop, basically, That's what I'm thinking in my head. So then, I approach her and everything like that with her package. And I say to her, "Listen, if you'd like, I can leave all your stuff 3/4 of the way down your driveway on the corner of the street, if you'd like. Like, don't start cursing at me, lady. You know what I mean? Like, I knew I'd be safe. I knew I'd be fine, even though your signs suggest no one come up there. But if you want your shit that you ordered, I'm coming up." And so needless to say, I said that to her, and that kind of caught her off guard. She was like, oh, maybe he's got a point, type of thing, But anyways, today, there's the first one for this episode. Today,
or the fifth,
maybe, who knows? I wasn't counting so just now. But today I had a delivery for her, and you know where I left it? Right at the bottom of the goddamn driveway. And that's my story about the Karen that I got on my route.
That's unfortunate.
I feel like Brad. I feel like you would handle those kind of customers exceptionally well. Be in your back. No. I was going to take a shot in the dark and say you could.
No, I'm a hothead. My favorite one was where I was doing enough, like went back when I was a rookie. I had another like a condo route with a little bit of residentials around it, and I'm going around this cul-de-sac, and I know everybody on this street. They all own the businesses that I delivered to, and except for this one lady, I don't really know her. And she comes out and she's screaming at me for doing 35 miles an hour in a stick shift diesel 1200 around a cul-de-sac, and I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. She says, everybody on this street thinks you're an asshole. Everybody thinks you do everything so screwed up. I'm like, I actually know all these people.
Oh, my God.
Nobody thinks I'm an asshole. And then she's like, I'm going to get your job, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, okay, you can have it. And then she takes a picture of the license plate in the truck. I'm like, no, ma'am, don't do that. She's like, what, are you afraid to get fired? I said, no, they'll never figure it out. Take a picture of the truck number. They know that's easier for them to figure out.
True.
And then I looked at telematics, and I never once went above 18 miles an hour on that street. And the speed limit's 25, and I was doing like 4 miles an hour through the roundabout. Gosh. And my supervisor said, well, she's worried about the safety of the children on the street. You better just honk all the way through that cul-de-sac right by her house. Just lay on the horn the whole time. So, okay.
So
that's what y'all want to do.
I kind of have something to follow up with that. Kind of similar story. Kind of. But it's about laying on the horn, and it just reminded me. So I also have a dead end street. It's got like
Oh,
8 houses on it. And
Gotta love 'em.
I think
yeah,
she's named Karen too.
maybe. I'm sure they're all named Karen that complain about us. But I got a dead end street. There's like 8 houses on it. And there's this woman that lives in this one house, number 7. It's right in the middle. Okay. It's right in the middle of the dead end. And so because it's a dead end road, it's real tight, only one lane. It's a private road, dead end road. There's only one lane, dirt, bumpy ass road. So every time I have one for her or the house across from her, I don't pull in because there's literally nowhere for me to turn this big 1,000 around. I always have to back all the way up to her house. I always got to back down this road. So then I'm backing down, and what do? Every 3 seconds, we honk the horn, right? And this woman has 2 little ankle biters. Okay, this woman's got
I
2
love
little.
that.
Yes, she's got 2 little ankle biters down there, and so every time I beep, these dogs go nuts, like nuts. And thank you, Brad. That's enough. And
See, it bothers you too, doesn't it? Maybe now you know where she comes from.
Were you counting every 3 seconds too?
No, I've just been doing it for 14 years. I know how long every 3 seconds is.
Anyways, so as I'm backing down, always honk the horn. The dogs are going nuts, and then she's got like a fenced area where the dogs are, and the dogs are out there going ape shit. Just going nuts, right? So the one day I have one for across the street, her neighbor there, and this woman comes out of her house and she goes, "Do you always have to honk the horn when you're backing down this street?"
As a matter of fact, madam, I do.
Exactly what I said. I said, actually, a matter of fact, yes, I do.
Absolutely.
And she goes, "Well, it's always driving my dogs crazy, and I'd really appreciate it if you don't do it." And so I was like, here we go. I am ready to rumble,
Away you go.
And this woman, and I was just like, well, ma'am, it's a part of the
Partial.
way that we have to do things here for this job. We always got to honk every 3 seconds whenever we back to create awareness. If there's kids, if there's people, animals, so that they get out of the way and they hear us and they know that we're coming. And this woman, so check this. So I got back to the building, fast forward, I got back to the building later that night. And as I walk into the OMS office, this woman's on the phone. She's on the phone with the OMS lady at our building, complaining about me honking the horn as I'm backing up the street. And I'm listening because now the OMS lady puts it on speakerphone. And she's cracking up. She's like, this woman's out of her freaking mind, And she's cracking up over at the customer. And now I'm listening to it. And then she's like, I own this house. I own the house across the street. I own the house 2 houses up. And because I own so much here, I think I think I have a right. And I think I have the right to say what goes on here on this street. That's what this woman said. like, my mind was just like, poof. I was like, what? Like, what? People are crazy, bro.
When you said stick shift 1200, God, I do not miss those things.
Oh, I love it. 131311. That mofo would go. I could wheel that thing.
No way, dude.
It was a splicer transmission. You didn't even have to shift gears. You didn't even have to touch that clutch. Just goose it a little bit and just go.
I mean, they're great. They were great in the wintertime. I mean, I know you didn't have to deal with snow.
I don't understand. What do you mean?
I know it's foreign to you, but yeah. Do you guys use chains up there, Dave, or do you have those?
Oh yeah.
I thought you were about to ask
things?
me. I was going to be like, excuse me.
Right. I know you don't know what winter is.
Yeah, no, we got the chains and the mats.
Oh, okay.
The
We
spike
just
mats.
use chains
I forgot what they're called. Do you know?
I don't know.
Do you know what I'm talking about though? Like the grip mats?
I know what you're talking about because Angela actually showed me those. She's in Western New York somewhere. I don't know.
She has no idea where Dave lives. Like, she has never heard of Kingston.
Well, New York is pretty big. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
But yeah, we use them both. I got both of them in my truck. So, but I'll tell you what I don't have in my truck though is a cradle.
Oh,
I don't have a cradle yet. I am one of the last trucks in my building to not have a cradle. And I tell the mechanic, I'm like, bro, hold off as long as possible.
you now will never stand a chance. It's coming. Embrace the technology.
Oh, I know it's coming,
Dude,
but I'm just
it's
like, I don't want it.
enjoy it while it lasts. Just say
I
that.
do. Because I hear everybody else complaining in our building about it when the supervisor get on. We need 85% cradle utilization.
What is there to complain about? Put the damn thing in the cradle.
But
This
some of them
is
don't
my
work.
biggest thing, though. It is not teaching. There's
Yes.
two things I know.
Yes.
There's two things I know. The volume now is different than when even all of us started. Dave, you 6 years ago, it's way different now even than it was then.
I mean, every year though, you notice it gets larger and larger.
3.
You know?
But dude, it is, I don't know, like I think that the volume, it makes sense to why they have to do it, because they don't have to train people. But now the young people, if those cradles don't work, then they're lost. And we're supposed to be professionals, man. And I feel like it's a huge disadvantage. They need to learn without the damn cradle. They can't rely on that thing, because those things, bumpy ass roads, Dave, like where you deliver, those things will fuck up constantly.
Oh yeah, no doubt. And now here's the funny thing about that though, right? Is that they see that is so that, anybody can do any route now. God forbid you ask for a day off and they say, we don't have anybody to cover your route today. That is bullshit, because anybody can cover any route now because they got the cradle and the map nav, and like all that stuff. Like,
well, that still doesn't help you commercially.
Well,
if you have business stops, if you go to a building that has, say, like 5 or 6 floors, a bunch of different suite numbers, that's just not going to help you then.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to go in there and not know where the fuck you're going, and you're going to look probably like a jackass, because you're going to have to ask constantly, or no such number.
It's true.
Believe it.
It's true. Because like there was times before I had my route, or well, actually, probably even when I had my route, and they're like, "Oh, we really need someone to cover this route. You're the only person that knows it, and maybe I'll do them a favor. Say, okay, listen, I'll cover the route today. You know what I mean? I'll cover this route." And that route had a cradle in it, and it was the first time I ever used a cradle, and and it's so annoying because we all know, oh, Ryan isn't the best.
Right.
And, yeah, right. We all know Ryan isn't the best, and
Fuck.
yeah,
Fuck.
exactly.
I know, Luke. Really?
Right. Fuck.
And
exactly. Rule of 3.
and so it sucked because every time you put it in, obviously the map. Oh,
the guy
weird.
says it enough. Why did you record it?
Yes, it's hilarious.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
Just to throw it in there. It's the best thing he says. I love it.
It's true.
So then you whenever you put like the map on every time, or whenever it puts the map up, displays it whenever you put it in the cradle. Like if you don't have the little whatever they call it, I've heard it called a carrot. If you don't have the carrot next to the what?
Or the bookmark.
Yeah, the bookmark. Oh yeah, there you go. That's a good one. I've heard it called a carrot. I'm like, what the hell is this? What does it look like a carrot? But supervisor called it that. But if you put the bookmark, next to it, like you literally have to scroll down to what stop you're gonna do next, select it, and then put it in the cradle. Yeah. Stupid.
That's
the
worst
one was.
Go ahead.
I'm 1 minute away from a stop. I know where the stop is because I know the route. I have the package in my hand because it was on the shelf right where it belonged in order of the last stop that I did. But it took me a good minute and a half to find it in the dyad just so I could bookmark it and put it in the cradle so I didn't get yelled at.
Right.
I would have delivered this by now if I didn't have to worry about this stupid thing. Nah.
So we have, I deliver on the route that I do now to a retired driver. His name is Ed, great dude. He has been retired for, I think, 7 or 8 years now. Now I want to say 7. He retired right before we got Orion, before everything, navigation, cradles. So I have a delivery for him a week ago, and he comes up to me in the neighboring route to me. He comes out to get the package. He was like, right when you left here, he said John came up here not but 10 minutes later and went up the next street, delivered. And I was like, oh, Ed. I was like, it's so much more fucked up now. It's like I can't even begin to explain it, man. He's the last of he's the last of a dying breed.
Yeah, don't you just anyways, I don't
wish that breed would die in my building. Half of my building still remembers delivering on paper. So you've been here for 47 years. Why?
But speaking of breeds, I heard Luke has a dog story to tell.
Oh yeah, I being the unofficial dog whisperer, I like to say, I always will approach. I mean, due to situations, sometimes I will use my head. I won't blindly, like if there's a German Shepherd, say, or a Rottweiler or something in a fence, and I can't read it. I don't get a good feeling. I don't fucking go in there. I might look on Instagram on my Insta stories and stuff that I approach all of them. I won't approach all of them, but this house, I knew 2 Dobermans, good sized dogs, but they're friendly. There was another dog that I think was some type of terrier, Aussie Terrier, and it had 3 legs, and it was the meanest fucking dog I've encountered in probably a couple years. And it was snarling coming, and it was just being a prick. And it makes me wonder, and the Dobermans are sitting behind just like angels. And the Dobermans they're full size. They could fuck you up. They're sitting there wagging their little nub tails just ready. And this dog's just not letting me even come in to see him because I can't do anything. A 3-legged fucking dog. What are you going to do? I mean, I can't. Kick out the one leg.
It's like an ugly chick in the group of chicks at the bar. You can't get around her to the good-looking ones that want to talk, but she's like, "No, don't talk to my friends." And you can't do anything about it because you can't hit on her and woo her because she's so ugly. You don't want to do it. That's when you need your wingman to come run interference. Did you have a wingman to run interference on that Aussie dog, 3-legged Aussie dog?
No, and I needed to because I was going to put the Dobermans in an Insta story, and it was going to be good because people were going to be like, "Damn, look at them big ass Dobermans being he's all nestled up to him."
There's that one bitch that gets in the way.
Yeah,
just like at the bar.
Because I almost I almost kicked it. I was like, I can't put on Instagram me fucking kicking a 3-legged dog in the face.
I mean,
just like you don't want to say anybody to see you with the big chick. I gotta say.
I mean, like, wouldn't you be pissed off if you were, if you lost a leg too?
I'm just kidding.
Jesus.
Mean Jesus.
Mean Jesus.
You mean they're not taking it rectally like they do to me?
I just had to throw that in there just to change the mood slightly. See that? It came in good. It started getting like a little quiet, so I just had to hit it. Anyways. I miss Bobby.
Oh shit.
But miss you, buddy. Fuck. There it is. Paso. I just want to hit it, but I don't want to like overdo it. What'd you say? Do it?
Nothing. Oh, there you go. No such thing as too much of a good thing.
That is true. But anyways, what else we got on the agenda tonight, boys? We got
Dude, this actually is a good one. Go ahead and read that off.
No, go ahead. You do it.
Rookie not being able to back package car out of spot. Dude, now I know Brad has a story about this.
So do I. I got a couple.
And yeah, I think we all do. Sure. Like I've had to park somebody else's truck back in the building because they were too nervous to try to squeeze it in there when all the spots were full. And I'm just, and I'm not going to be one to shame them, but I'm like, damn, man, we're supposed to be professionals here. You got to fucking eventually learn how to do this.
You got to learn.
Or else I'm going to want to take 15% of your fucking check every week.
Right, and that's one of the biggest issues was like I'll share my story real quick. Was I actually got two, and they all happened in a span of like 2 months. But the
Nice.
first one, so they were parking cars inside so we have an outside belt on both sides of the building, and then we got the inside belts on both sides of the building. Okay, and so there's two belts, outside, inside. Anyways, so I'm just trying to create the picture here in your guys' heads. And so my truck's on the inside of the building, and they started parking cars inside between the trucks that are already inside the building. So picture the side of the car right up front up of my bumper. Okay, so they're like tight in there. Okay, and there was a newer driver, a rookie, if you will, that was driving that car that's right in front of my bumper. And they did not want to pull it out because they were scared, too, nervous, if you will. And so there was the one air driver that always pulled it out for them. And you know, it was like how we were talking about, you know, learning. You have to learn to do it eventually, right? And that's the thing. Like, why wasn't there a supervisor? Or, I mean, I think about it now. At the moment, it was like, why? Well, it's obviously not our job to train people. You know what I mean? You know, we don't get paid that. That's what the supervisors get paid for. Why hasn't there been a time when someone sat in the jump seat with them and say, "Listen, do it this way. Cut the wheel all the way to the right. Pull all the way up as far as you could. Cut the wheel all the way to the left now and back up to get away from the car there." You know, so why hasn't there been that when why haven't we hopped in the front seat with them in the jump seat to help guide them so that
They're just
then they
way
learn?
less hands-on overall. I feel like just you know, with everything they're doing with the cradles and everything, they're just so much. I mean, I can only speak for what I've seen.
Yeah,
but
they're
I
under
feel
pressure.
like it's just way less hands-on.
Well, yeah, that too. And there's a lot of pressure with these new drivers as well now.
Right.
You know, and my last story comes just recently, and this one's actually pretty funny. So same instant, but the next car over that was in front of my bumper. So they had two cars in front of my bumper, and this one the driver couldn't find a key fob. When everyone was backing out, this dude could not find a key fob. Okay. And because no one trains properly, this driver didn't know that there was a lockbox right up above your door. So he doesn't know that there's a set of keys in there. Okay. So he's looking all over the place for these key fobs in the truck, everywhere, up, down, behind the dash, in the cup holder, wherever the heck they could be, hanging somewhere from a wire, you know, wherever they could be. This kid's looking for him, can't find him. So then the one kid went to go get the mechanic that has the lockbox code, you know, but you know, they write codes in certain places for us. And
Right.
So he was like, "No," and I checked that, and sure enough, the code was in there. I was like, "Oh, look, here it is there." I was like, "Do," popped it out. Here you go, buddy. Here's the keys. Pull it out. And he looks and he takes the keys, and I shit you not. He looks at me and he goes, "What am I supposed to do with these?"
Like physical keys, metal keys.
Yes,
Physical
the
keys you stick in the
physical
ignition.
key that you
No
stick in
fob.
the ignition and twist to turn the vehicle on like you would any other car, mostly older anyways. But like he said, "What am I
Yes.
supposed to do with these?" And I looked at him, I was like, "What?" What did you just say? And he's like, "Well," I was like, "Dude, you put it in there and it'll start the truck up, you know?" And then my supervisor's coming around the corner and he's like, "What's going on? Why aren't these trucks out yet?" You know, and I was like, "This kid doesn't want to use keys, bro. Like, I don't know what to tell you." And he's like, "How am I supposed to get the bulkhead door open?" Like all this stuff is like, you put the other key in there and then you twist it.
Dude.
Yes. So this
But
kid
how-
didn't know
Was he
anything.
in like his early 20s?
He had to have been maybe mid-20s, but like still,
Okay.
it's like,
Hold on.
nah.
I want to take a vote. Raise your hand if you've driven without a key fob in a package car.
Without a key fob? Yeah.
Oh, I thought both of you weren't. I thought they were older than that.
I mean, there's cars that the key fobs don't work, so I got to drive with a regular key.
Key fobs didn't exist at all.
Well, right, sure, they never used to, right?
No, I mean I was
This finger right here. Keys.
I wouldn't really. Yeah, I mean, it was like right at
That
the
finger
tail
at-
end.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah,
This is a ring finger. That's where you put your keys.
right. And it's like, so. Anyways, my story. So the supervisor coming back around, and and then he's like, "What do you mean? Like you do this, you do that?" And then the kid was like, "Oh well," and the supervisor had to back the car out for him. And it's the same thing like I was just talking about before. Why didn't the supervisor hop in the jump seat, let the kid go, and just guide him and say, buddy, this is how you do this, do this, do this. Constantly check that, check your mirror, do that, you know? And it was just like, why? Where,
Kind of
where,
supervisor how to do it.
Where was the leadership there?
That's just it. Way less hands on.
You know?
He didn't learn it in 30 days on the road.
But you have a backing story too, don't you, Brad? One that
When I first started, I couldn't do it either, so I would just wait for everybody to leave. But then the girl next to me had been driving for 5 years, didn't know how to do it, so she'd be like, "You go first." I'm like, "No, you go." And she's like, "No, you go." I'm like, "You have power steering. I don't. I'm in a power steering 1000, no power steering 1000." And she had a diesel 1000, and I'm like, "You go first. You have power steering. Get out of here."
Oh my gosh!
So I finally figured out how to do it.
For 5 years, imagine going 5 years, surviving that long and not being able to.
She didn't last much longer than that period as a driver before she quit.
No.
Interesting.
I mean, it happens, I suppose. It isn't an easy job. It's not an easy job.
No, it's
not.
It's definitely
not something we don't drive around just wave at people all day.
No,
make
and
videos.
And
we're not fired.
And that's the crazy part about it too, is a lot of people think like, oh, it's so easy to bring a package to a customer door. Yeah, in retrospect it is. But I don't know if that's the right saying for that part. But no, it's not. No, not in retrospect.
We're gonna let you.
In reality, it is.
There we go.
Okay, sure. In reality, it is. It sounds easy. It is easy to bring a package to a customer's door, but like no one understands like the amount of wear and tear it takes on your body going up and down those stairs. You got Brad 250 stops. That's 500 times you're in and out of the truck, bro. Like, geez Louise, dude, that's insane. That's a lot of stair climbing, you know? And like
that is a lot of stair climbing.
Yeah, and I guess people don't understand that, and that's why I think we see a lot of helpers constantly.
So does your building all have helpers, Brad, right now?
No, that's why just me and one other guy that day.
Damn. Helpers in summertime. God, just makes you wonder what's about to happen. You know, honestly.
Speaking of that, my center manager, we had a safety meeting today, and he was talking about how the people that are going to be dropping the stops for the PVDs are no longer going to be inexperienced drivers. They're going to put good drivers with good personalities on there to try to coach the PVDs so they don't leave.
Wow.
And I'm thinking to myself, so he's like, so you'll go do pod drops, you'll get your PVDs motivated, you'll go do sweeps, and if your PVDs are performing, you go home. And I'm like, that seems pretty good. Except for the fact that just because my PVDs are performing, that doesn't mean this guy's PVDs are performing. And you're not going to send me over there because you damn well know you're going to send me over there. Because, I mean, we had one pod last peak that never got done by the people that were supposed to. It was always 3 or 4 drivers driving there to finish it. And I'm like, that's where I'm going to end up. It's not going home. The PVDs are done, you know.
Did you say pod?
Yeah, we use those portable on-demand storage trailers, pods.
Yeah.
We drop them in neighborhoods, fill them up with packages, and then somebody comes in a golf cart and delivers out.
A golf cart?
With a trailer.
No shit.
That's incredible.
That's awesome.
This one particular one nobody ever did, and it was the furthest one from the building. It was closer to the building to our north than it was ours because it was on the border between the two of us. And then the guys out there would have to go get in. There'd be 100 stops in there. It's 8 o'clock at night.
Jeez.
Yeah, dude, I feel like that'd be the worst fucking morale defeat.
Yeah, I got something to say about
that. It was the guy that I used to load for, one of the best drivers in the building, and he was like, I'm sick of this. There was one guy who had no intentions of going into feeders, who signed the feeder bid list just so he didn't have to deal with that anymore during Christmas. He's only a cover driver. He's like, I'm not dealing with pods anymore. I'm going to go drive tractor trailers. Never wanted to go into feeders. Now he's just a feeder coverage guy just to get away from finishing pods.
Jesus.
Dude, I'm glad I don't have to deal with pods. Holy shit.
Yeah, seriously.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
That was a good one.
Oh my goodness. What else, boys? What else here?
I have there was something, with, I don't want to make it sound, because this is a guy I get along with, supervisor. I don't want to say he's not a bad guy, but the less hands-on thing, this was something that happened. I had what you would call a smart pickup and a placard pickup. Well, it's screwed up in the time because it's supposed to be scanned between 2 and 3. But it's smart pickup, and they always cancel it. They still do it old school. Just put a sign on their door if they have something. I can see it from the road. It's right on the main strip of road there. And so I have a supervisor come up to me before I leave last week, and it was in I don't know, it wasn't the end of the week, but so I had a couple days to try to figure this out. But he said, hey, you need to scan that placard. You're not scanning it. I was like, yeah, it comes out of my board because it comes out around one an hour prior, so it comes out at 1 p.m. So I'm telling him that, and he's just looking at me. He's like, well, you need to scan it. I'm like, well, I can't. Not between 2 and 3 because it's not going to be in my board. I was like, can I put it as special counts? He said no. I was like, so can I scan it early? No. All right. Well, I'll figure something out. So I ended up scanning it early. I was like, fuck it. I don't know what they want me to do. The next day I get the message. Call center, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay. Said, why'd you scan that placard early? So I said what had happened. He's like, they said, well, just don't scan it. So I tell this to another driver a few days later at the end of the day and leaving the building. And he starts explaining to me what I need to do, how the business needs to call the 800 number to get this fixed. I mean, he tells me everything for like 10 minutes. And I was like, dude, everything you just said, I was like, I didn't, you know what I got when I was asking this exact same question? I was like, just a blank stare and said, you need to scan it. I don't know. But I don't, like I said, I don't want to knock the guy because I like him and he's not a bad dude and he's not a bad supervisor either.
Those pickups are horrible. We had one that it was the 3:00 pickup.
Uh-huh.
They wanted it to be 4:30. They couldn't get it changed. Nobody would change it. They'd call the 800 number, wouldn't change. Then it changed to 4:30. But then on Saturdays, they're only open till noon. So you have to do the pickup before noon. So then all of a sudden, I think they tried to get that fixed because I wasn't driving out there anymore. And then I come back and the pickup's at 11:30. But they don't actually want it till 4.
Fuck. Yeah, that works.
So between you and me, everybody just has a picture of the placard on their phone. They scan it, they stop completing, they do the pickup later. Shh.
That's what they told me to do.
But if the pickup's a smart pickup and it comes out of your board, how the hell do you
Me
do that?
three.
That's what I said. That's what I tried to say that and still got the blank stare. That's what the phone call I got. That's what they said. They said take a picture of it on your phone.
Yep, same here. Yo, there's definitely such a thing as supervisor school. That definitely exists.
Fuck,
no doubt.
No shit.
Yeah,
no doubt.
First class is guilt trip 101. Hey, I can't come in today. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. Are you really sure? Because I need you today.
Second, no common sense.
So my buddy bought a new house. He was relaying sod in his yard. And he told him on Saturday, he's a Tuesday through Saturday kid. He's new. He said, I'm not going to be there Monday or Tuesday. And the boss was like, okay, whatever. Then he calls Monday again to tell another boss. He's like, look, I'm not coming tomorrow. Oh, we don't have enough drivers. You need to come in tomorrow. He's like, look, I'm not asking. I'm telling you, I have option days left. I'm staying home. Next day, they sent 2 extra drivers home. They had more than plenty of drivers.
Oh, my gosh. You got to love it. Got to love it.
Dude, when I scratched my eye a while back, I don't know if you guys remember that. I feel like I was like maybe a month and a half ago. The day I barely made it back driving, I could couldn't keep my eye open. I had some. Luckily, Mrs. Nomad had some prescription eye drops from when this happened to her not too long prior, but I had to take the next day off. Like I woke up and I started watching the TV. It was 6 a.m. It was dark. My eye immediately started hurting. I have days to use. I never call off. So, I call in and I tell them what happened. I was like, it wasn't an injury on road or anything. It just kind of, I don't know what the fuck happened. It was my contacts, yada, yada.
Can we get you an eye patch?
Yes.
Look, you could come in if you had an eye patch. What if we blank out one of the windshields and you only have one windshield? You only need one eye. Do you think you can come in there now, Luke? What if I come pick you up and drive you to work? Do you think you can drive the truck then, Luke? We really need you to come in. We're really short drivers, and I don't know how to do this job. I'm not gonna lie.
And I'm thinking, well, boss, is it unsafe for me to drive it with one eye?
No. You got map. You'll be fine. You got
yeah, right. Yeah, he did say though. He said, "Well, I'm gonna have to cut a route."
All right, have fun. Not my problem.
I can't see.
Warning letter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
I had 4 or 5 sick days. I was like, dude, just fucking put me in a sick day. I can't see.
Yeah, dude.
Can't feel my legs,
Oh my
boss.
goodness. Anyways,
Just throw the packages from the driver's seat.
So we have moving on. We got a couple questions that we asked our followers who have been following us on Instagram and all the social media accounts, and we haven't even released an episode yet, and everybody's getting involved, and we love it, and we want to say thank you guys for that. Thank you guys for all your submissions of that.
Absolutely.
And let's read some. So this one was titled Lunch Catastrophes. What has happened with your lunch? So let me start reading some of the submissions that we got to ya. The first one is from PJN231 on Instagram, and he says mold in his lunch. That's a hard no, right?
Over the weekend, where did you pick it up at 7-Eleven? Best by February 23rd. Man, it's July. It's August 7th. No.
Right.
No.
Like, did it come from his house or did he buy it somewhere and they gave him something that had mold on it already?
I'm gonna assume he bought it and just missed. I'm gonna go with this assumption.
You think he bought it at a restaurant or something? You're saying, or at a deli?
That's what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna give the brother the benefit of the doubt.
Well, I got one thing to say about that.
Fuck.
There it is. Because that sucks. I'm sure
if he bought it, I'd be so pissed if I bought that sandwich.
No doubt.
I mean, not from a 7-Eleven. I mean, you can understand. Still be pissed, but get it,
7-Eleven. We're not getting sponsored by them. Shit.
Nope.
Fuck. Yeah, you might bleep that. Bleep that out.
Next one is from Parcel Savage.
Parcel.
What did you say?
Parcel.
Thank you, Bobby. Next one's from Parcel Savage, and he says, inside of the chicken or burger is still raw or frozen.
I've never seen Fitzy talk about a significant other, so I think he needs to get him somebody to make his sandwiches for him if that's what's happening to him.
Or did that come from a public place? I wish we knew this. I wish we knew if this food
we
came
need
from
the details.
I guess
you
so.
only put so much in that box. So.
All I know is that's going to spell disaster. That's going to spell emergency. Get off car.
Oh yeah, dude, no doubt. And then if you got
TR bag,
yeah,
TR bag. No shit, he was the one that said that, wasn't he? Piss bags. That's
piss
what
bags.
he said.
Oh,
yeah,
my goodness.
the emergency piss bag.
Yeah, no thanks. That's a hard no for me too. I mean, like,
Fitzy,
I like
savage.
I like my burger. Like, I like my burger, kind of red
Cooked?
still, maybe like medium rare, but like raw, like straight raw, like too raw, like it's still mooing. I don't know, man. That sucks. Next is from A Barber, and I think that's how you say it. And he said a piece of aluminum sponge was found in his lunch. How?
Clean your sides out.
How?
So that's like a aluminum. Okay, so
Brillo pad. I
like
guess.
steel
Yeah.
wool. Call it?
Wool, steel
Okay.
wool, yeah.
Okay.
Right?
I'm gonna hope that was from
His house.
house.
Was it a prank?
If that was from a restaurant, the gross level that just goes up to a whole nother.
No
fucking
doubt,
level.
dude. That's rough.
See, I'll just say restaurant. I'll just say restaurant and gas station for now.
That's okay.
Brad, so we don't lose sponsors.
Yeah. But like, did he swallow? Like, no, he had to have noticed it, right?
I hope he didn't swallow steel wool.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyways, next one is from Dustin_304, and he says a tick. He found a tick in his lunch. He found a little critter.
Was it a raisin? Was it in a salad?
Nah, maybe.
Well, he is 304, so it is confirmed he is from West Virginia. So
He's from
probably a tick.
West by God, Virginia.
Yes, he is
Nailed
from
it.
West by God, Virginia. And there was probably a by God tick in his by God sandwich.
That's was it a big fat one or was it a little skinny one?
I mean, they
Always
vary.
bigger in West Virginia.
I've seen ticks so big they are green.
That's
They're
disgusting.
that big. They look like they're about to burst. They're green. That's how
Where
they
did
get
you
when they
see
get
that?
huge.
Ugh.
I saw that on my great uncle. I don't know if I told you this story or not, but he had like this dog. It was like one of them hybrid wolf dogs. This thing just killed groundhogs and killed shit because he had cows, and anything that dug holes or fucking burrowed around those cows would break through. So this thing just would. I can remember as a kid this husky wolf, this nice could be, but it would just gallop back, and its face was just pink from whatever it just destroyed. But that thing used to have ticks on it, and they would do it like annually over the year because that thing never came inside. It wasn't around. He lived on he had a lot of land. It just kind of roamed. And but yeah, they would get the ticks off that thing. And I can remember as a kid watching it, and it would those things like there would be like 3 of them on there, and they were so fucking big, they were green. They were huge. Fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just a farm dog, man. I don't know what's
disgusting.
the title, just killing things and protecting the sheep, like Denzel said training day, you gotta protect the sheep, you gotta catch a wolf, and it takes a wolf to catch a wolf.
That's right. So next one is from Yo Soy El Gato. Did I say that correctly? Yo Soy El Gato?
I am the cat.
Español.
Sí.
Oh.
¿Tú hablas español?
Yeah, no.
No.
He said,
Yeah.
Parlez-vous petit français. I
You're
took
not-
French in high school. I should have took Spanish, but I took French.
Yo Soy El Gato says, my own dirty hands. Truth. 100%.
Before Corona, yeah, I will admit I didn't always wash my hands before I ate.
Good point.
I've pretty much consistently done it post pandemic, or not post. I guess we're in the pandemic, but after everything went to shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, and I mean, especially for some of us out there on those rural routes, like for instance, my route, dude, doesn't have a single gas station, convenient mart, nothing out there on it. There is nowhere for me to buy a drink. Like, I got to get all my shit beforehand. I got to get it all before I get onto my route. So there's literally nowhere for me to wash my hands.
See, I've got all kinds of shit where I'm at.
I am so deep in the woods. It's
and
terrible.
And I'm the one that shit in the woods, and I have gas stations and stuff nearby. That should be you telling that story, not me.
You thought you had a porta potty. Come on.
Well, it was destroyed with shit.
He tried to warn you.
He did. That's why I should have took Spanish in high school.
All right,
Not
next
French.
one comes from Hernandez _7619, and he says he found a worm in his orange.
That's one's from California, not Florida orange. We don't do that here.
Isn't Florida known for the oranges?
Yes, but so is California. They get the worms.
Oh,
Doesn't happen.
So no worms in Florida ever.
Not in the oranges.
Okay.
We're professionals here. Those Californians, they don't know what they're doing.
So which oranges should I be eating?
The ones from Florida?
Yeah, like I want a brand name here. Like, what do we do?
Tropicana?
There you go. There you go. That's where I was going with it. Simply Orange? No.
Florida's finest?
There you go. Nice one. Florida's finest. Come and hit us up, all right, boys, and we'll get you guys some sponsorship stuff. Anyways, no. Next one. Next one is from Dave Bryant, and he says a roach.
Ooh.
Move on. What's the next one? Yep.
Okay. Do you think he bit into it like? And
No,
just
it tastes
like-
like almonds.
I don't even know where to start with that or where to end.
Where is he from? Like, I feel like that's something that would happen. And never mind. I'm not even going
it's
to
worse
diss
than
anything.
finding a roach in your sandwich. Finding half a roach.
Yeah.
Yeah, no thanks.
Oh.
Hold on, but what kind of roach was he talking about? You think he was talking about like a cockroach or like a
I mean, when
type
I
of
think
roach?
I'm going to assume he meant cockroach. I'm going to assume.
Cockroach.
And if he meant the other roach, at least he didn't specify because who knows what he may or may not have done. Let's say cockroach.
Right?
Last but not least, we have one from Joe O. Rose Menya.
Close enough.
I was going to say it. Brad, that's Brad's boy.
Jose Rosamena.
Yeah, wow, you're
Nice.
so good
Nice.
with your tongue, Brad.
Rata. Ratatatata.
And he says he found a hair in his lunch.
He ain't got no hair. Where'd it come from?
And I can relate because that's happened to me. And that's the whole
Same
reason
here.
why we bought up this whole lunch catastrophe. This is where I got the idea. I was like, you know what? Let's ask about lunch catastrophes and see what happens because this happened to me recently. And I want to tell a story real quick. So my wife is a great cardboard queen. Yes, thank you, Brad. I was gonna say cardboard warrior queen, but I was like, no, that's not it. Cardboard queen.
Cardboard queen.
And you know, which
sharp.
every
Very
wife,
sharp.
yeah, which every wife usually is, because it takes a special woman to be married to people that work at UPS, or vice versa, or a special man, I guess, because we're never home.
Very true.
But so she was making my lunch, and she made me a nice tuna salad wrap, and you know, I go to take it out of the bag, or go to take it out of the container when I was on my lunch, and sure enough, there was like a little hair just dangling there, and and I saw it, and I always told my wife about this. I was like, and this isn't the first time it happened either. It happened a couple other times, of course. And I always tell her about it, and she's like, no. So this time I hit her up on FaceTime, but even before I took a bite or pulled it out, and I was just like, look. She's like, is that a hair? And I was like, yeah. So I go to pull it out, and it's the longest hair in the world. There was only a tiny little bit hanging out. So I was just like,
It's like never ending.
oh, no doubt. It just kept going. I just kept pulling it out, and she's like laughing hysterically on the phone. And she's like, oh my God. And I'm like, this is disgusting. And I'm just like pulling it out of the entire tuna wrap. But anyways, that's where we got the lunch catastrophe story from. Do any of you guys have a story, Luke?
The Spaghetti-O classic, the massacre.
So you had SpaghettiOs for lunch.
I had the bright idea that I could just eat not a can every day because the sodium intake is bad and I'm not a 6-year-old, so I can't be consuming cans of sodium on and off. But I got ones that weren't the pop top. I was saving 30 cents Get 70-cent ones. Could have got the Pop Tops for $1. Even, I mean, I said I'll do it twice a week because I was in a bad habit. I was in a habit to where, and I mean, unlike Dave, Brad, I'm sure you have convenience stores and places you can stop in on your route and get shit. So I was spending, you add up spending, 10, 12, $15 a couple times a day. I mean, fuck, it adds up. So I had that bright idea to do it. So I was with the non-pop top, just fucking with the can and sliced my hand open.
Oh, Jesus.
And I it was I knew it was bad because I mean, as soon as I did it, I was in the truck and it just was I just saw a trail of blood on the floor of the truck. I was like, damn. All right.
Fuck.
This is yeah, right. So I mean, I knew this was bad. And so I called my center manager. I have to go to the emergency room, or not the emergency room, sorry, just a Med Express, like an urgent care place.
Yep.
And so I ended up finishing the day, but the thing was I ended up getting a day off a few days later because they didn't end up stitching it. And then I was told that they probably should have stitched it. It was on the corner of my hand, like right here. It was in a weird spot. So I ended up getting a day. I got a Friday off because it was in the summer, and like the hair of the dog thing, it wasn't healing. So I ended up getting a three-day weekend out of it. But I mean, I had to pay. I mean, I got it sorted out with insurance, but I ended up getting a bill for it, and I was like, "Wait, hold on a minute. We're gonna fix this shit." But I had that little headache. But yeah, thinking I was gonna save money, trying to slice my hand. I about said another company brand. I stopped myself, Brad. But hell yeah, thought I was gonna save money, and I could have saved myself a trip to urgent care.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, not smart.
Oh, fuck. There it is. Brad, what about you, buddy? Do you have one?
I got nothing.
Okay. You don't have any, like, God, everything's perfect down there in Florida. Look at Brad, Mr. Perfect down there.
He's just relaxing on the hammock. He's not cutting his hands. He's not trying to eat non-perishable foods with can openers, slicing his hands open.
I mean, Brad's all down there like,
You mean they're not taking it rectally like they do to me?
Maybe not everything's perfect down there in Florida. All right. Last but not least, almost to the end here, boys. Let's do the customer tip. Hold on. I have an idea. Ready for this?
Let's hear it.
No, there it goes. Customer tip.
Ooh,
You like
I
that?
like that.
All right. Maybe we'll add a little sound effect in there. I'll create a little sound bite for it so we can always play this whenever.
Nice.
Yeah, whenever we could play it. We're still learning how to do the show, guys, so bear with us. Customer tip. And the customer tip of the day, or the episode, customer tip of the week.
Call it the week. Yeah.
Customer tip of the week. Stay dry. How many times have we all heard that?
I'm going to tell you, we don't like it here. The stay dry. How about, here's a towel.
I like that too. Here's a towel, like, stay dry.
Wipe
and
your
it's like,
face.
it's
Have
already,
a towel.
and it's usually too late by that time. It's like, man, it's not when it just started raining. It's when it's been pouring already. It's when they say that. Stay dry.
Yeah.
Too late for that, bud.
It's stating the obvious that it's not going to be, stating something that's physically impossible.
Right.
But I had somebody tell me, because they have a big porch and an awning, so when I walked up, they were outside, and I mean it was pissing the rain down, and I was ready for it. This was a I want to say somebody, I don't want to I felt it coming. I'll say that because I'd been there before, and she's a talker, and she said to me, literally, she said, "I'm so sorry, He's like, I know you're going to get soaked today, and I'm so sorry because it's it's raining. And I was fucking floored. I was. That's the first time I've heard that, and I was like, oh, thank you. And then I walk out of the awning and just start getting pissed down in the rain again. But I didn't even care because I was like, finally, I had one get it.
Yeah.
Out of how many?
Yeah.
88.
88, right?
Oh my goodness. Well, anyways, Brad, you got one? No. I'm sure we hear it all the time, right? That's it, really. Stay dry. Listen,
Everybody.
guys, customers, stop. Please stop saying it like it's.
Have a towel. Have a towel. Wipe your face.
Yeah.
They will evolve.
Well, whatever you do,
confident.
Hopefully.
Whatever you do, drivers, don't sit in your skivvies on the couch while they put your uniform in the dryer. That's not going to end well. If you go one of two ways, it's probably not going to go the way you think.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Trust me on that one.
But
Ooh.
but anyways, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for episode 2. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for lending us your ears. We got episode 3 coming up next, and we have a special guest for episode 3.
Is it Mr. T?
Mr. T. Yeah, that's very close.
Oh.
That's
Are we allowed
very
to
close.
say the special guest? Because today is her birthday. If that's who I'm
That's
is
thinking
all we'll
of.
leave it at. That's all we'll leave it at. That it's her birthday today.
It's her birthday.
And then
today,
nobody will
so-
know that it's Kelly Clark's. Oh,
Brad.
Since you've been gone.
well, we couldn't get Oprah. Her people would return our people's calls.
Yeah.
By the way, Luke's our people, got people, just so you know. So if
Yeah.
he calls, we answer the phone.
That's right.
304-728-9734.
That's right. And the only other thing I'll
We don't
say,
call our ID.
the only other thing I'll say about our guests is they've been with the company for 24 years. So get ready for that one. It's going to be exciting.
bless her.
It's going to be an exciting one. Can't wait to have a guest on the show and just, start saying questions, start like throwing questions at them all. So, but anyways, guys, thank you again for joining us. This has been a lot of fun. And again, we miss Bobby. I'm pretty sure we can all agree there. We miss Bobby and his.
Yeah, I
his
hope. Hopefully next week. I'm sure everything will be back. I'm just glad everything worked out. No damage to the property.
100%.
Family's all right. That's all good news.
100%. So, thank you guys, and as always, we all know to get back safely. We all know where the most important stop is, guys, and that's always home. So
even if it's 10 o'clock.
Even if it's 10 o'clock, somehow that truck will empty itself. I mean, it doesn't empty itself, but somehow the truck will get empty. But anyways, I'm going to stop rambling. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out.
Have a good night, everybody.